Hi, my name is Nicole Egan, and I'm here to make a video on the basics of bowling to educate people on the basics of bowling and how to become a better bowler. This is Zach Collins. He is one of the key employees at Nob Hill Bowl, and he's going to talk a little bit about what to do when you first come into the bowling alley.
Alright, when you guys come in, you come see me. I'll get you your shoes, I'll get you your drinks, your snacks, and then once you have all that, we'll send you down to the lane.
Hi, my name is Jim Kent. I'm one of the proprietors here at Nob Hill Bowl. First off, we want to welcome you in. Hope you come in and have a good time at our bowling center. Bowling is a lifetime sport. Anybody can do it. And it's just a sport that you can get whatever you want out of it. If you want to be a competitive bowler, you can do that. If you just want to be a recreational bowler, you can do that. You can do anything you want with the sport. One of the first things, Zach talked about the front desk when you come in, get your rental shoes, get a lane assignment. After that, when you come down into this area, this is known as the settee area. Okay, it's a tile floor, and when you come in, especially if it's been raining out, we don't want you to walk down here with your street shoes on. We want you to take your street shoes off up here on the carpet, and we have hangers and shelves to put your wet coats and your shoes, and we want to make sure they stay up there. There's a reason for that. If you come down here in the settee area and you have some moisture on the bottom of your shoe, and then you step in it with your bowling shoe, you're going to stick and fall up there, and you could get hurt doing that. Some people think it's funny, but we've seen some pretty serious accidents doing that, so we want to try to prevent that. We don't want any accidents. Okay, once you come on in, you get set up on one of your tables, and all your refreshments and everything can come down right onto one of these tables here, and you get set up. This is our flat screen system. It's actually a touch screen, and what you'll do is you'll enter your names first, and then once everybody's name's entered, you just hit done, and you're ready to go. The arrows will come up, the lane will come on, and you're ready to bowl. Now, one of the first things before you start bowling, is you need to pick out a house ball. House balls come in anywhere from 6 pounds to 16 pounds. Okay, pick one that the weight is comfortable for you. And one of the keys is, when you're picking out a ball, after you find a weight that's comfortable, and all the weights are listed on, this particular one's a 14-pounder, what you want to do is put your thumb in the ball and turn it sideways, and you should be able to turn that thumb in there freely without it getting stuck. What we don't want is for you to bowl, have it hang on your hand, and then possibly hurt your hand. So that thumb should be able to turn very easily inside there. Then lay your hand across the ball, and the middle joint here of your finger should go to about the middle of the hole. That's not as critical as the thumb pit, but if you can find a ball where the span is correct, where that middle joint of your finger goes right to the middle of the hole, that will also aid in a very comfortable bowling experience. Okay, once you get your house balls, they transfer down here on to the rack. Okay, and they'll always stay there. Now, one of the most important things, especially if you have a bunch of kids when you're coming in the bowl, is make sure only the bowler whose turn it is to bowl goes down here by this ball return. The balls come out of there fairly quickly, and if we have a bunch of kids down there not paying attention, they can get their hands smashed. So we want to make sure that when it's not your turn to bowl, you're sitting down back here. That way it's a safety factor. You don't have a chance of smashing your fingers up there. When the arrows are pointing at your name on the automatic score, that's when it's your turn to get up and bowl, and then you come down and sit down, and the whole process starts all over again. Now, one of the things that's going to enhance your bowling experience is if you have some of the proper fundamentals to hit some pins down there. We're going to talk about some of those proper fundamentals right now. Okay, the first one is, ideally we want to develop a nice simple 4-step approach for everybody. And the way that works is, when you get up here, from the side, I'm going to assume kind of an athletic position. I'm going to bring the ball up. I'm going to have my 2 little fingers touching just like that, so I have the weight equally distributed in both hands. From the side now, you're about ready to do, you're going to do an athletic endeavor. And bowling is athletic. Some people kind of make fun of that, but it is an athletic endeavor. It does require a lot of strength, a lot of skill, a lot of eye-hand coordination. Okay? Ideally, you want to have a little knee bend, and you want to have your spine tilted forward just a little bit. It's almost like you're getting ready to run a race, okay? You're getting squatted down and ready to run a race. We want the ball with the weight in both hands and positioned underneath our right hand shoulder. And there's a reason for that. If you start to put the ball here in the middle, what happens is you push it off. Now look, in order to clear your leg, your arm swing's got to do funny things. It'll be hard to repeat and hard to hit what you're aiming at. So once you get in that athletic position, we're going to start the ball over here underneath the right hand shoulder, and we're going to push it off. And now look, I've got a nice free swing. I'm not hitting my leg. I'm going straight forward. I'm going straight back. Okay, so get in that athletic position. Now once you've done that, the simplest hand position there is drop the ball down by your side, and notice the thumb is straight forward and the fingers are right behind it. Okay, and then what happens is now you've got a nice free swing with that thumb pointed forward. What happens is the thumb comes out first, and then after the thumb comes out, you kind of just rotate around and come up like you're shaking hands with somebody. So the motion is something like this, and you're just coming up and shaking hands. And that's going to give us a nice, simple delivery that's repeatable, and that gets a little bit of hook on the ball. The reason we want to have a little hook on the ball is it creates a little more power down the back end with the pins. If you just throw a dead straight ball, it's going to hit the pins and it's going to deflect. But if you have a little turn, a little hook on it, it's going to drive through and it's going to give you a little bit of pin action, and you're going to get a few more strikes that way. That's why we want to have just that little turn. Okay? Now, in the four-step approach, okay, the basic start of it is once we get into our athletic position, remember, weight of the ball in both hands, ball underneath the right hand shoulder. If we want to push the ball off and step with our right foot all at the same time. And it's very important to push that ball out and down. We don't want to push that ball up like this. Now all of a sudden I've got this weight up here. When it drops, it's going to pull my shoulder down. It's going to do all kinds of bad things. So we want to make sure the ball goes out and down on our very first step. Okay? Now, in slow motion, I'm going to turn sideways here. In slow motion, here's how it works. We push the ball off, step with the right foot all at the same time. On the second step, the ball should end up just about straight down. On the third step, the ball should be back. And on the fourth step, we deliver through. Okay? That's in slow motion. You can't bowl in slow motion when you have got this weight on the other side of your hand. So you have to do it fairly quickly. Here's how it works. Okay? We're going to push the ball off. We're going to step with the right foot all at the same time. Then our next three steps are quite a bit faster than our normal walk. So it's going just like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to deliver the ball. Okay? At our intended target, which ultimately is the head pin down. Okay, we talked about how to start an approach, the four-step approach. Now, where do we start as far as delivery on the leg itself, on the approach itself? How far back do we start? So one of the first things you want to do when you start bowling, is find out where I need to start by the dot step. So what you do is you ball heels to the foul line, and you just take 4.5 normal steps and turn around. And that's about where you should start. So it's just like you're walking down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, another half, and I turn around, and now this is where I start. So we have these dots here as a reference, so we know how far back to start. Obviously, if you're a little short person, you're going to be starting up there. If you're very tall with long legs, you might be starting clear back here. Okay, so that start position is very important, just as important as everything else. Now, the key in bowling is, if you have a good start and a good finish, you're going to bowl well. But we talked about how to start the approach by pushing and stepping all at the same time. And our next three steps are a little bit faster than our normal walk. We know where to start from now, since we did our test on the foul line. Now, how do you end up? Okay, it's very important to end up at the line in balance so you can be accurate and hit what you're aiming at. So ideally, when you're coming up to the line to finish, you want to slide your bowling side foot will come in right to the center underneath your chin, and the back foot's going to come out, and we're going to form a little triangle here with some knee bends. Okay, now I'm in a nice balanced position where I can finish well and be accurate. So if you have a good finish, everything in the middle is going to take care of itself. Okay, now we're going to have our ace bowler, Nicole Egan, throw us a few shots so we can see what this looks like. He has a great four-step approach. And we're going to see the nice start, the nice end, and the footwork in the middle. All right.
Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate our four-step approach, and one of the most important things you need to know before you even start on the approach is how to pick up your ball, because we don't want any smashed fingers. So you want your hands on both sides of the ball, pick it up, and then put your fingers in first and your thumb last, and we're going to go up and find your spot. I'm going to start here. Elbow in. Weight distributed in both hands. Push and step. And that's how it's done.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the shot. And it was a great shot. It didn't carry the 5-pin out, but it was a great shot. Now let's talk about how to shoot spares. First off, before you spray the ball, you want to find a place to stand on the approach here, so that when you hit that second arrow in from the right-hand gutter, it goes into the pocket. Remember, if you want the ball to go further to the left down there, you move your feet right. If you want the ball to go further to the right down there, you move your feet left. Always the opposite way. So let's assume we're standing on the middle dot, and we hit that second arrow and it goes in the pocket. We're good. Okay? Now let's look at our spares. We have the 7 and the 10 pin down there. Okay? The way it works is if you left the 7 pin, which is on the left side, the right side of the lane, you would move 9 individual boards on the approach to the left. Okay? Just the opposite of the 10 pin. The 10 pin is on the left side. We would move 9 individual boards to the right and still aim at that second arrow. Pick it up. And here's how it works. If you leave a 2 pin, which is 1 pin to the left of the head pin, move your feet 3 boards right. The next pin down at the 4 pin would be 6 boards right, and the 4 pin would be 9. Always a multiple of 2, 3, 6, or 9. Always the opposite way to spare. Now just the opposite, all the right side spares, we're going to move our feet left. If we have the 3 pin standing, 1 pin to the right of the head pin, we're going to move our feet 3 individual boards to the left. Next one down is the 6 pin, 6 boards move left, and the 1/4 pin and the 10 pin give you 9 boards. Always remember, spare moves are either 3, 6, or 9, and they're always the opposite way to the left-hand side of the lane, we'll move our feet right.
This is my video on the basics of bowling, and I hope that you learned a lot from it. So, see ya!